The Happy Home school system was established by its visionary founder, Mrs. Mariam Farooqi, in 1949. Within a couple of years of her arrival and settlement in Karachi, the well-known, dedicated and tireless educationist was a lady with a mission. Mrs. Farooqi started the institution from her very own home, in a spirit to serve the community and to help it build and strengthen the foundation of the newly found home, Pakistan. Much celebrated and admired in her lifetime, Mrs. Farooqi is well remembered even today for having most proficiently and dynamically managed the school's steady progress, growth and development over the decades. But also for continuing to serve as the spirit and guiding light for the succeeding teams at her founded institution. The institution stands poised today for a great leap forward in fond memory of its dynamic, far-seeing founder under a new name, the HHS school system. Incorporating the tried and tested methods of yesteryears, the dynamism of modern scientific approaches to teaching and assimilation, and of course, the spirit and guidelines set forth by Islam. Be it the firm belief in the motto, knowledge is power, or perennial adherence to the principle of holistic development of every student. Any and all activities at HHS are a living testimony to the fond memory of Mrs. Mariam Farooqi. HHS has been known for its academic excellence since decades now, reflected so well in the distinguished record of its students, securing positions regularly and winning laurels over the years, with celebrated alumni distinguishing themselves as scientists, engineers, businessmen, doctors, teachers and other professionals the world over. The school's aim has remained since ever the provision of a holistic learning model aimed at creating as perfect a balance as possible between academics, values, and co-curricular activities. Dedicated application of tried, tested, and well-honed principles and practices at HHS has consistently borne fruit over the decades. And what more compelling proof of their effectiveness could there be than the stalwarts who once walked through its portals but are now successful, celebrated professionals the world over, donning important positions in leading institutions in Pakistan and abroad.
The Internet of Things are growing at an exponential speed. The Internet is not ready for the Internet of Things. If you look at the Internet today, it's a consumer medium. You watch Netflix, you do Google, you do Amazon work, it's all client-server model. But what is changing is the Internet of Things growth is at the edge. It's at a manufacturing factory floor. It's at a hospital location. So the more data is going to be generated at the edge rather than in the central data center locations. So what Graphian's project is about, how do you build the industrial internet? We are now heading towards the industrialization of the internet from the consumerization. And that's the project I'm going after. By some estimates, that's going to be a $70 billion market globally. I break success in any profession into two categories. One is definitely the academic success, which I think Happy Home provided a very strong basic foundation. The second aspect is the EQ. When you want to lead, you need EQ as much as you need an IQ. This is where I think that the whole structure of the school was built around. The debates, the public speaking opportunities. When you see those things interacting, competing, one of the things I always tell people, sports is one of the best way of learning how to survive with failures. When you are in a competitive environment and you fail, but you have to finish, failure teaches you so much. So that environment, Happy Home provided you the academics, ability to confidently speak in public, sports. They were shaping up a complete personality of a human being, not just academics excellence. So I had very inspiring teachers. I always looked up to a few of my teachers. But overall, I think they gave me the confidence to go take on the world rather than just educating me.
I'm privileged to say that I'm the first Pakistani to go to the South Pole and to Summit Station in Greenland. As a scientist, I look for particles that come from outer space, specifically outside our galaxy, and we're trying to understand where these particles are coming from. More often, the particles that we're looking for are coming from these very exotic high-energy sources which mimic the environment that we had at the Big Bang. And our goal is that if we can find these sources and understand what's happening in them, maybe we'll also be able to understand what happened at the Big Bang and help humanity get one step further into understanding how we came about.
Culture has to keep moving, has to keep evolving. I keep forgetting कि दुनिया बदल गई है, competition बढ़ गया है, and what I could achieve in 40 years, these children will achieve in 4 years. क्योंकि there is so much they can do. अगर आपकी mind में कोई idea आता है, don't ignore it, put it forward. It will always come true. खास तौर से जो पहला idea आता है, उसको preserve करें. Share this idea with your friend, with your colleague, और अगर group है तो उसमें. Sooner or later it will come out.
For putting into practice the policies and strategies of HHS possess the relative capability and aptitude suited to the same. The present faculty comprises some of the most experienced and qualified personnel, many with actual exposure to the latest methodology, practiced in the most progressive schools in the Western Hemisphere.
Social well-being is, if we look at the school structure, it's a mini society. So in a way, we prepare our children for how to move, how to collaborate, how to work with other people.
We have a value-oriented system. Each month we celebrate a value, whether it be speaking honestly or being resilient. And these are things that we want our children to learn, absorb. They're not just spoken about or put up on softboards, but it is something that we role model. We just don't want to focus on studies, but we also want to make our children happy. Be happy at Happy Home School. That has been our motto. That has been our driving force.
Character building is a very strong aspect of HHS. It's beyond textbooks. We focus on the child's potential and developing that to its fullest and making the child a caring, considerate individual, tolerant towards other religions, tolerant towards other social aspects. So we hope that we are making a wholesome, caring person for humanity at large. And those who fall behind, either academically, are given special assistance. Financially also, financial aid has been a strong point of HHS. Over the years, children have been assisted to be part, to complete their education at its best.
While I never had the good fortune of working alongside Mrs. Mariam Faruqi, my grandmother and the founder of HHS, I did learn a lot from her in our personal lives and from the examples she set at home, from the discipline she expected of us, from the hard work, from the excellence that she expected of herself and all those around her, and at the same time her compassion, her empathy, and her emphasis on charity and giving, especially when one has been blessed and privileged in life. It is these factors that have brought me back to HHS after my studies around the world and experiences around the world. And it is this that I feel when I'm walking down the corridors of her schools and her classrooms that started from a little house on Jamshed Road. A recent study by Dell has found that 85% of the jobs that will exist in 2030 are not even around today. So this means that we have the difficult task, and our students do as well, of preparing ourselves for a world that we can't even imagine and that's not even here yet. The best that we can do and the best that we believe we should do is equip our students with the skills, with the leadership, with the interpersonal, with the cognitive skills that will help them succeed no matter which situation they find themselves in and no matter what they have in front of them. At HHS, we believe in celebrating the past and building the future, celebrating the values, the work ethic of our founder, but also her focus on innovation and research and constant improvement. And that is what we will take with us to build the future. A never-ending desire to research, to innovate, to improve, and always do the best that we can for our children, for our students, so that they can do the best that they can for their communities and for their country, and inshallah for the world.
HHS approaches the 75th year of its success as a leading school system in 2023. It takes a special pride at this stage in its happy past, while eagerly looking forward to expand and extend its exceptional teaching expertise and academic excellence for the benefit of aspiring young citizens of Pakistan for years and years to come.